All right, we got a quick review of a train set that's from General Gems. See that there? Toys and Bricks. General Gems Toys and Bricks online store under generalgemstoys.com. This is an aftermarket Lego style building blocks train set. The number for this one is KY98219. Is like a cargo style train, and you see the manual here. Quite large manual, just one. And this is a 1002 pieces for this set. And the way you get this, it's basically a big plastic bag. Actually, it's double layered plastic bag. I already took it out of the first one. And so you get everything here in a large bag. And there's a couple items over here. The beds for the trains, and then also for the gantry sides. So anyway, yeah, I'll be sorting these out, the parts. They come in numbered bags like you typically would see when building sets. And at this point, as far as it's shipping to you, it's pretty fast. I think I got it within a few days. Haven't had any problems. This is my second one of this particular model of this train. I've already done, I think, like 2 or 3 other trains that came from General Gems. But I just want to do a quick review, get these parts laid out, and just kind of go through them, make sure I got everything, and then start putting it together. And afterwards, I'll do a review of the actual built train set itself. Here's the bags laid out. Just wanted to show something here real quick to do with the numbered bags. You have in this set 1 through 4 for bags that are numbered. However, not all bags are numbered. In which case you can see here, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bags that are not numbered. And some of these bags are just pieces, like this one here, or these smaller pieces. So you're going to have no idea where they go, which is okay, though, because if the way that I do this, if you do it the same way, just sort out all your pieces beforehand. And I use the metal trays that I've shown in other videos to prepare everything. So I'll lay out all the 1 pieces, all the 2s, all the 3s, all the 4s. And then basically I'll just sort out all the smaller bags with no numbers, based on the color, and set them up like little soldiers, little battlefields per se, just based on pieces. Lay everything out, and then whenever I need a particular item that's not in a numbered bag, I would look through those pieces that are laid out, that are already sorted. Much easier to find that way. I mean, I'm sure you can do it without doing all that, but in the case of not knowing which bag is which and which piece goes where, it's a lot easier just to have them ready there in front of you, laid out and organized. All right, I'm going to lay out the bags now, open them up, and pretty much sort them all out. Maybe just show that right quick before I start building it. But beyond that, I think I showed the manual already, and just a couple things I didn't mention earlier. It does come with track, straight curves, and also the sections that you can make, for, I can't remember what they call these pieces, where they're, you connect together and you can shape them. But yeah, so you get the train, the track, the gantry, the cars, some of the extra items that go in the cars. You also get the truck and the trailer here that you can see, and a couple minifigs. I think there's just 3. Yes, 3 minifigs. But all right, let's get building. Here's all the pieces laid out and sorted by the bags, colors, and so on. And just a few things about this set here. As I mentioned, it's KY98219 train set, 1002 pieces. I think it's kind of run standard with this style sets. You have to put things together yourself. Like for example, the steering wheel here and the mount, you have to put a steering wheel on the mount. The little shifter or arms, you have to put on the little orange pieces themselves. I already did that. You'll find other pieces that are similar to it. So not everything is like 100% complete put together. And for the most part, it's minor things that you have to do. But just want to show the pieces in the bags from the sets. So this is the bag one with some extra items here. Like this is the come from the bags that had no numbers, you know, the motor and the, excuse me, the train, the carriages and so on, under pieces. And over to my right is this is bag 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. As I mentioned, they look like little armies all, you know, lined up, ready to go as far as the pieces, the way they look. Anyhow, this is the next tray. This is the ones that were non-numbered bags. And then I have one more bag over here. One more tray. This was a couple bags. And for the most part, the bags that don't have numbers, it looks like they kind of run with what the item is. For example, this set of bags had no numbers, but this is the size of the train and the bottom of the train. So it looks like this is for the train itself. Except for the wheels, that's part of the truck and trailer. This case, it was mostly just a train. Got a lot of wheels here. And then over on this one, this looks like pieces for the cars, especially like the bottoms here and so on, windshields, the way they all got laid out. Anyway, time to put it together. See what it looks like when it's all done. After getting into the putting this set together and going through the instructions, I just remembered it doesn't really matter per se how you lay the pieces out, but it isn't based on the numbered bags. It's just lay them out based on the color. So if you got this light gray one here, put all your light gray ones together, no matter what bag they came from. And the blacks all together, tans, reds, put them all together on the same tray. Because now I realize after I'm going through this, I'm like, piece from here, piece from maybe 2 pieces from here, and a piece from there, and a piece from there. And it's like every section of the build, I'm reaching on all these trays. So therefore, I'm going to have to redo the trays and put all the same colors together like I normally would, unless I know for sure that the bags, you know, number bags match, you know, like your actual Lego sets do. Bag 1 matches what you're doing in the book. But in this particular case, it's not like that at all. Beyond that, just want to point out on this manual, they do conserve a lot of paper and ink, and they put all what pieces you need for the portion that you're working on. So they'll lay out like you would typically see the piece and the color and then the amount, you know, X1, X2 means how many you need. And they do that for each step. And then it seems like it's about 8 steps per page. So, which is fine because, you know, you're basically seeing 16 steps on two pieces of paper. The only thing is kind of a little bit difficult to look at is when they basically color out the pieces that you've already worked on. So, for example, if I'm putting these 2 pieces on here, and then I move to the next step, well, this is not a good example, but let's go with here. You can see I'm putting on these 2 here. They're like a dark red. And then I'm putting on these dark gray side pieces. But in the next step, you'll see that dark red on here is the ones below, of course, is now this kind of like gray, like it's supposed to be like a gray out or blue out. looks like it's more blue than it's gray. But anyway, then see these ones here are also kind of grayed out per se. So that way you know what the the previous step was to the next step. But, and there's my point. It's like, I mean, you know what you're working on that step, but when you get to this step, like this piece of gray would kind of throw me off because it kind of looks like it blends into this and so on. And you'll get more examples as you go through where it throws you off a little bit. So you just have to kind of go back and forth on the steps you're working on. And you got some insets like here. You're going to be putting the front of the truck here together before you put it on. And of course you see all the pieces that you need there. So more or less the best way to do this set is to get the pieces that you need and lay them out on the table and then go through the, that portion of the build. I think what I've done in the past was I would lay out, these 4 steps right here. So I'll lay these pieces out the way I see them on the table and then do those 4 and then move on to the next 4 and so on and so on. But yeah, gonna take a little longer than I thought, but that's okay. I'll just reorganize my pieces, and once they're organized the right way, it's much, much faster than digging through, say, like a pile of your pieces. But all right, let me do that and then get back to building this train set. And here we are with the pieces now sorted based on the colors, because unlike earlier where I sorted them based on the bags, and I forgot that this particular train set doesn't work necessarily on the numbered bags as you would expect them, like typical way of doing it. So here we go. Yeah, here's one color here. I think this is the light gray. Then over here is all my dark gray. And then over here is the reds. And of course the blacks, tans, blues, whites, clears. You kind of see, you can sometimes put 2 or 3 colors on one tray. Depends on how many pieces you got. And I think I discussed this in other videos, but the trays, these are bread roll trays, and I got the racks. So like, say for example, I wanted to prep this set, but I wasn't gonna work on it right away. So these 4 trays that I just showed, they would go in the racks, put the manual on top on the first rack, and then it's ready to go for when I want to put it together. Also, it could be prepped by someone else or built by someone else. Just, it's a way of just kind of putting them together without actually, doing one by one. You could put 2, 3, 4 sets prepped up in trays when you got the racks that holds like 20 racks. But, okay, so now back to building this train set. Thought I would include this part right quick. This train set comes with a hub and a motor and lights. I mentioned it earlier. But this hub is just a power turn on with a speed adjustment, back and, forwards and back. So you would have a knob that comes up at the top, and then basically there'll be another knob that pushes down and turns the power on, and then a knob to either go forward or back. But once it starts going, it keeps going. It's not like a remote control style train. So what I decided to do is order Lego brand, the hub, the transmitter. Of course, this style hub has the receiver in it, and these are the power up ones. And also ordered the motor, with these style connectors here. And so I just want to show that the hub is 4 studs wide, and it fits in here real, see if I can get it back out. Fits in here real nicely on the bed. So you got 6 studs here, and then I meant 5 studs, and then 4 this way. So it fits in there nice and perfect, and the clutch is really good. So just a matter of, and I know the motors are exactly the same, wheels, everything. Just a matter of building, you know, wiring up and building around it. But now this gives this train the ability to have remote control for it. So all these trains that I got from General Gems, I've been converting them over to remote control wireless. I think, not sure if it would work if you had this style motor. I don't think it would work because you would have this forward and backward speed knob. So, you know, I was thinking if you used the old style IR receiver and stuck it in line with this and then had your transmitter, if this hub would work, but I don't think it would because, you know, the motion or the movement is coming from here forward to back. I mean, I might try that sometime just to check, but I don't believe it'll work that way. So the way to reuse this, though, is reuse the motor and the lights, and then get the old style of the hub with the IR receiver, and that way I can still use the parts that come from this and won't be just sitting on a shelf somewhere. Put them in another train. If I can get the older IR, I got the transmitters, but it's the older IR receivers that are hard to get now. Well, the Lego type anyway. Okay, well, let me continue on building. And finally, the train set is done. Here it is on the table. So I was kind of set here on this side for right now. I put this over in the train yard later for this gantry here. And then this truck here and trailer. You know, I didn't really notice it right away. But what you do is this tank comes off and then you put it on the trailer in the back of the tractor or the semi there. And then the trailer is what holds the two of them together. I kept thinking there should be like a, you know, like a hookup or something for these two to connect, but it's not. It's actually the trailer and the truck get connected by this tank. It's supposed to be simulating that you pull up with your train and your gantry will be more like this. And then train would pull up, come over here and get your tank, and then you would slide it over and unload it onto that trailer. So, and then that tank right there. Anyhow, got it put together, and I actually got the train working with the power up functions, with the actual Lego ones. Just had a little bit of an issue with putting the hub in here just a little. It was just a little tighter. And then this tan button here, there's a rod that would go down, you know, using the old hub that came with it. So that was the one that would adjust the speed. Basically, you just pull the rod off and you just put this down on the studs and you're done. But anyway, so here it is in operation. I will make it go backwards first. This fresh batteries, and it's just the first push of the button there to go backwards. Let me zoom in here. Okay. And then I did have lights for the power up, so I'll put those in there. So that way we can see it as it comes down the track here. Here it comes. And it's not a bad train, you know, for being you know, what I call aftermarket or non-Lego style train. And This is the one that came from, let's see, General Jones Toys. And there we go. I've been up all night putting this together. Time for me to go to bed, but I wanted to finish it. Now I got another train just like this red one here. It's already done. And what I got to do is take this engine portion here apart so I can change out the hub and have it where it's, you know, with the transmitter and receiver to work like this one. Actually, I really like this. This is really nice. One thing I noticed is that when it goes around the curves, but then again, my curves are a little sharp on this one. I'm using standard Lego curves and just using extra pieces to push them around. I really need to get the, I think this is R40s, and I need to like do like a R56 and higher. Anyway, so but the main point is about this train set. About putting it together, and let's see, go forward. There we go. You can see what it kind of slows down there a little bit on the curves, but that's normal. Anyway, so I pretty much covered the actual set itself and then laying things out. I didn't actually show a video of putting it together. I didn't want to do a speed video. I figured I'd just, you know, make this as simple as video as I could and not get too long with it. It's probably already turned out to be a half-an-hour video as it is. But, okay, yeah, so if there's anything you want to, you know, think about it or something that you see that I didn't, you know, just put it in the comments. Or not, if you got any questions about it or whatever, just, you know, let me know. All right, that concludes this video of doing this train set.